Welcome to Subramani. For many high net worth families, I think for most high net worth families, having young kids who also have young kids, the biggest worry is not about preservation of wealth or growing of wealth. How to hand over money to the next generation without creating a sense of entitlement. For example, your family does not know how much is your net worth, and suddenly you sit with your wife and maybe 15-17-year-old son and 12-year-old daughter and tell them how much money you have, and they have no idea of the size of wealth that you should have. So you tell them, look, I have about 12-13 crores. Now suddenly it is possible that they will start thinking that that is too much of money, right? So unless they understand the enormity, it is very difficult. I mean, and something could happen to you. You could drop dead with your 17-year-old son having to take charge of it along with your wife, and your wife has not learned anything about investing. She refuses to. She says, you're here, you will do it. So these are all real challenges, and it's a valid fear that you want to give your money to your children and you want to have the same values which you have. That is again very difficult. Like I mean, you may not have had so much wealth when you were young, but your children have seen wealth. They have seen you take them on nice vacations. Even when you travel domestically, you stay in good hotels, you travel by air. I think everybody today travels by air. You take a taxi wherever you go. So if they're not used to seeing public transport, etc., they think, oh, this is all my right? So there is always this fear that the children will think of being entitled. So many parents who worked hard to accumulate wealth tend to appreciate and preserve it, do not want to squander it, but they have one big thing: they don't talk about money to their children. They think, oh, nobody taught me. My father did not sit and talk to me about money, so I don't need to do it. Wrong. If you avoid discussing money, in fact, I keep telling people the second most avoided topic on the family dining table is sex. The first being money. They just don't talk about money, and typically they'll say, oh, money is for lesser beings, we are much higher, concentrate on your studies, concentrate on your career, right? It's not about money, right? Kind of shit stuff which goes around in especially upper caste families. The result is young adults may suddenly be confronted with significant financial decisions and have no foundation to handle them, right? They just don't know what to do. It is easier to instill sound habits. Now, that is the problem, that when children know about how much money you have, they suddenly think, oh, my father has 12 crores, so why not spend 1 crore on my wedding? Perfectly possible, because they are still at a young age. They are 25 years of age. They want to show to the world that they can afford it. So here, the boy and the girl both realize that their families can afford it, so they go and blow the money. That may not have been your intention. Your intention may have been to spend 25 lakhs at the wedding, or maybe 50 lakhs. But here, your kids have decided that they will spend 1.5 crores, and they know you have the money. So it is important to tell them how much money you have, and also tell them that don't count the office block, the factory premises and the house. This does not matter. They have appreciated. I bought them for 4 lakhs. Today it is 8 crores. That's fine. That is appreciated. They have not created it. So show them the created wealth. Show them, look, I didn't do anything. I just did SIPs of about 1 crore, and that has become 10 crores. Or I did SIPs of about 2 crores, and that has become 24 crores. And these are genuine numbers. I'm not pulling them out of the hat. But I have done this SIP over 20 years or 25 years or 40 years, whatever. So therefore, in that period, it has grown to so much of money, right? So these are things you show them, how this wealth was created, how much of hard work went into it, how much of discipline went into it, and how your priorities are different. You wouldn't spend maybe you wouldn't spend 40,000 rupees on buying some clothes for yourself, but you don't hesitate even one bit when when somebody working for you, your driver, your maid, your cook, or somebody says, I don't have money to pay school fees, and you very happily sign out a check of 40,000 rupees for them, knowing that school fees, medical bills, etc. cannot be delayed or denied. That has to be paid. So you teach them priorities. You say this is not priority, this is priority. Don't say I don't have money. You have money. You say this is not my priority. Then children understand that language, and it is not necessary that they have to learn this at a later stage. When you have a 5-year-old and you give this 5-year-old X amount of money, or 5 is too young maybe, 8-year-old or a 10-year-old walks into the shop with you, you give that kid some money and say your priorities. You can buy whatever you want with this 50 rupees. You want to buy a toy, you want to buy a chocolate, you want to buy an ice cream, or maybe make it $100. So when they walk with you through the aisle and they see you pick up stuff, you teach them how to pick up stuff, put it there, do the billing, teach them that. But it also means there's $50 which they can do whatever they want. Maybe they just come out of the mall and buy something cheaper on the road. Whatever, it's up to them. But having bought one thing, they cannot get something else. If they bought a balloon, they can't get an ice cream. If they bought an ice cream, they can't get a balloon. They have to understand prioritization. That is something which you can teach. Also, tell them what is necessary and what is a luxury, and what you need, what you don't need, right? Things like that. And what are the missteps that we make mistakes? Like, first of all, giving children everything they need and more. Right, you give them this, oh, somebody has bought this, so I will also buy. I went to Japan, so I bought this toy. I went to Singapore, so I bought this toy. I went to Kashmir, so I bought this toy. Whatever, giving them everything. Delaying work expectations until adulthood. Don't let them take up a job at a younger age. Don't do it. Let them go out, earn money. Let them understand the value of money, right? Not talking about money and values, that's a big mistake which people make. Let your kids know that in this house, immaterial of net worth, you're not going to be able to spend 5 lakhs on a handbag, or 20 lakhs on a handbag, or 80 lakhs on a handbag. Yeah, these are real prices, right? So tell them what is okay and what is not okay, and tell them that this is money which will be available for you always. However, you will have to still work for your day-to-day living. You cannot sit at home just because so much of money is available, right? And be a good model for financial behavior. You can't be a bad model. You can't be losing money trading in stocks or in cryptocurrencies and things like that, and tell your kids, oh, you should never do F&O, things like that. It doesn't work. You have to set the example yourself. So financial education can start preschool. There is no doubt about that. You can give them many coins and ask them to arrange. Today, of course, there are no coins, but when we were younger, there used to be 5 paise, 10 paise. I've seen 1 paise, 2 paise, 3 paise, 5 paise, 10 paise coins. So giving them coins, asking them to arrange by size, then asking them to arrange by value. This can start the minute you're sure they'll not put it in the mouth, right? So those things you can do. You can take them to the ATM and show how to withdraw money. That you can do when they're 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. So they think, oh, money comes from the ATM. Then you have to say, no, you have to work hard to put money into the ATM, right? By college time, they should know how to handle their budget. Give them a budget while in college. Tell them that they can travel first class, they can do this. However, for eating out, there will be a budget. And transparency about the family wealth, especially if your wife is not interested in doing any of this stuff. Then it is important that the children know where what investments have been kept. Then, of course, the everyday lessons, strong financial values don't develop overnight. So every day it has to be taught. Consistency, previous year experiences and things like that. Have open, honest and conversations about money. Tell them what is possible and what is not possible. Tell them, if you do an education worth 2 crores, I can only give you 25 lakhs. Beyond that, you will have to manage on your own. So earn your money, spend it, whatever. Or say, yeah, I will be able to give it, but unfortunately, fortunately, when I give a guarantee for the bank loan, I'm putting this house at stake, and this house is the only asset I have. So therefore, you have to repay the money. Then take term insurance for the amount of money, and get the kid, make sure that the kid is repaying the bank loan. So these are all things which you have to do. Assign responsibilities for younger children and give them small tokens. If you have 2 children, give them competitive work and give them decent money for it, not too less, not too much, right? So do all that. Use regular events to teach people. Show when there are fights, there are news items saying son kills father, father kills son, son kills mother. These news items, especially if it is money related. If you're looking for, let them manage a small amount of money. I know friends who are asking who let their children choose the mutual funds, etc. Introduce some real life financial tools like savings bank account, etc. Show them how interest gets credited. Invest in their name. Let them get the statements regularly and let them see the power of compounding. So all these things, maybe even 16, 17, maybe when they're 18, you can give them a credit card with a low limit, right? You're just preparing them for inheritance. They will have their own careers, they will have their own responsibilities, but keep giving them gifts, telling them, okay, this you bought this car, so I'll contribute to the down payment. You're buying this house, I'll contribute to the down payment. Give them a long-term perspective about goals and how it is to be achieved. How do you make investments? How you made all your money by not withdrawing during difficult times. Teach them all these things. It's your job. The world is not here to teach your kids anything about money. So teach them about money. Make sure that they become a good professional, that they become good citizens, and they're responsible about their money. Thank you.